And welcome on into another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, occupancy beside me, and we have a newcomer, Will, joining us today. Welcome, Will. I guess I'll just throw it over to you and maybe let people know a little bit about yourself and what sports you like to bet on.
Yeah, I started betting earlier this year. I made a model for NHL, and it was successful at the end of last year, post trade deadline. I'm excited to get going full season and see how we can do from the start.
Awesome. Yeah, models are really interesting. Nathan, who used to come on the show a lot last year, he's really busy now, but he made a model as well, and it's always interesting to check those out.
Yeah.
But we'll start the show as we usually do, and that is look at the current show standings for the show. So best bets in baseball, dog of the day in baseball, both going great. Totals, not quite there, but I guess that's what happens sometimes. But overall, baseball is profitable. This is since September. Next year, we'll have the full baseball stats all up in the standings. But since September, things going pretty well. NFL, best bets now slightly profitable, up 1.66 units. Dog of the day down 2.48, but totals up 12.63 units. Everyone has been killing it in totals, which is awesome. NFL also profitable. College football, bit of a rough go here, but still time in the season to get things going. And then other sports, which is CFL, WNBA, preseason, hockey, overall profitable as well. And occupancy, you and Melissa and DJ all put in NHL bets for the first game last season. And occupancy, you and Melissa both went 1-0. DJ there 0-1 to start. No dog of the day or over-under, but it does look like that's going to change today, which is awesome. Great to have some NHL stats back, and it's great to have the NHL back. Justin, what's up? Thanks for hitting the like button. Much appreciated. Blue Jays and Mets got issues. I was really surprised. I was really surprised at the Blue Jays game yesterday. I did not see that coming. Completely wrong on that. Luckily, I was right on mostly the rest of my cards, so slightly profitable, but the Jays game did hurt as a fan. But before we get into baseball, we will start by looking at the NHL game that we have today in the Sharks and the Predators. You can find Nashville minus 167 to minus 188, San Jose plus 140 to plus 155. Mostly sixes. I see 1.6.5 available in this one here. And for me, my opinions of this game is pretty much the same as my opinions of last game. Nashville now 7-0-1 in their last 8 against San Jose, covering the puck line in 6 of the 7 wins. They just play well against this team. Got a great opening game win yesterday. I'm going right back to Nashville minus 1.5, plus 144. I also took Nashville team total over 3.5 at minus 105. Mikael Granlund to get an assist at plus 110. And Nino Niederreiter to score a point at plus 130. I get it, he's on the third line, but Nino's dangerous when he's on the ice. So to get a point at plus 130, I thought there's a ton of value on that. I kind of see a repeat of yesterday, maybe 4-1, maybe 4-2. No real opinion on the side, on the total. Obviously, I'm on Nashville team total, but the Sharks struggled to score goals against Nashville for some reason. We will have 2 new goaltenders in this game. Both backups will play the back-to-back, so we'll have Kevin Lankinen in his Predators debut, and Kaapo Kähkönen, former Minnesota Wild goaltender, who struggled with the Sharks after the trade, and I think he's going to struggle once again. I hate to see it as a former Wild player, but Sharks are not a very good team in my opinion. Occupancy, Predators, Sharks. What do you think here?
Yeah, really excited for this game, and just awesome to have this hockey season among us. Really excited to be with you guys for the season, and welcome Will to the family. Um, you know, capping this game, just like switching sides completely. Um, I think Nashville played a good game yesterday. I watched the first period, and they got that quick goal, and then you had the power play, and then the Sharks actually tied it up, and they were talking about momentum there. Um, with these goaltenders, I'm going to take the plus money with the Sharks. I mean, we talk about in the NHL all the time how hard it is to win those 2-game series, and going back to the pandemic era, seeing a lot of 1-1 splits. This is still a really, they're still a pro team. I mean, I know Nashville on paper is much better, but you also had, Vezina contender Saros in net, maybe stopping, some of those goals, above expected yesterday. With Lankinen, I remember when he was on the Blackhawks and he was getting a couple starts a couple years ago, and think he kind of got the short end of the stick a little bit, and they pushed him out. I mean, he had a lot of promise, didn't play as well last year. And then same thing with Kakinen. I think he had like glimmers of playing well, and then he got pushed out. When Minnesota was moving their goalies around. So I think these are two goalies that are pretty evenly matched. And I think they are trying to, solidify themselves at least as the backups. But again, with this plus money, it's Timo Meyer's birthday. I'm on the Sharks money line. I'm on the Sharks team total over 2.5. I got that around -125 and -115, depending on the book you shop at. I don't know. I think we get a split here, but at least either me or Terry will make some money today.
Hey, disagreement is always good. If you watch the show, if Nick was on, I'm sure Nick is on the Sharks as well, because me and Nick just always disagree. But that's what happens. Everyone caps games differently, and people are going to come up to different results. But yeah, one of us will cash, which will be awesome. Will, Predators, Sharks, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I think the over 6 is the play for me. Yesterday it opened up -110, -110 with Saros and Reimer, and now we're getting Kevin Lankinen, who, when I look at his statistics, I think he has about -1 goals given up above expected last year for Chicago. And I don't think they're pricing how bad the drop is from Saros to Lankinen into the line. And I think Kakinen is pretty similar to Reimer. So for this one, I'm going to take the over 6, I think.
All right. Yeah, you with Lankinen's numbers, the defense that he had in front of him in Chicago was awful. Horrendous. So we do need to see it, obviously, before it's official, but I think Lankinen's going to have a much better year this year than with Chicago. But some people, you got to see it first. So I totally don't blame you. I would lean with the over as well if I had to pick a total. BetStamp, use code WILD in the referral code section when you sign up. Do your line shopping. Find the best odds for whatever you're betting. Why get a -110 when you can get a +105 in some spots? You want to do your line shopping because it really adds up at the end of the year or every day, really, if you get better lines. But use code WILD in the referral code section. Follow me there at Let's Go Wild Picks as well. We'll move on to baseball, and we'll go into the first game here, the Seattle Mariners and the Blue Jays. You can get Seattle +145 to +158. Toronto -170 to -188. 7.5s right across the board. In this one, as I said, I was completely wrong yesterday. Manoah had a really rough first inning, giving up those 3 runs. And then obviously later on, but had that first inning, had he not started off so rough in that first inning, I think the game could have very well gone in a different direction. But it is what it is. It's over. It's done with now. Jays' backs are up against the wall. And Robbie Ray lost his last 5 starts with over 5 ERA. And in the playoffs, in 9 innings, has an over 5 ERA. Hasn't had success in the playoffs. I think this is going to be a good game for the Jays. I haven't put anything on them. I may just watch as a fan. But if anything, I'll be going to look at the Jays team total, maybe some props. I think they light up Robbie Ray here and make a statement after last night's disaster. But I wouldn't blame anybody. Seattle plus 150. There's lots of value there if you do think the Mariners finish the series off. But as of right now, I'll be watching as a fan, rooting my Blue Jays on. But yesterday was a horrible game to watch. Occupancy, Mariners, Blue Jays. Do you think Mariners finish off the series today?
I don't. I think overall, top to bottom, the Blue Jays have a better lineup. The Mariners can get hot at any point and do what they did yesterday with some really excellent pitching from Castillo, with the bullpen backing him up. It was just when someone goes in there and pitches like that, it's going to be hard to win any baseball game. But I also have seen this Mariners team get cold and flat. And if they start, they go through if Gosman can get through that first lineup, relatively, with ease, maybe no runs, 1 run, that could frustrate the Mariners. Then I could see the Jays taking this game and then going to that third game. If you just take a look at the last totals here, the Mariners games have been flying over. Terry made mention that they've been playing kind of bottom of the barrel teams, which, you got to go into that with a little grain of salt. And the Blue Jays, they were kind of trending over a little bit, I think, towards the end of the season. I really wish we could get a 7 today. I know yesterday a lot of us were on the over 7. And I know they added the hook there, so I didn't take the hook on the pregame with the 7.5. But this game, if it drops, if we get through a nerfy and we could get an over 7, that's the type of way I think I'd play this game.
All right. Justin likes the over 7.5 in the Jays game. Cubano is making, if the Earls are watching this, he's going to definitely get them going to ground to the Blue Jays after he gets swept tonight. Noel says over 6.5 in Preds Sharks. I'm on Preds team total over 3.5, but San Jose, when they play Nashville, they seem to score 1 goal, 0 goals, maybe 2. They have a tough time scoring on the Preds. Yes, it's Lankinen, so that could definitely change with today, but I just don't like San Jose's history against Nashville.
If you do want it, it is available most places at 6. So
yes, true.
Don't do 6.5.
Oh, he says 5.5. Yeah, you'll probably find 6.
Yeah.
And Richie is going back to the Mariners. Hey, plus money. I would wish you luck, but I'm a Blue Jays fan, so I won't do that. But Will, what do you think? Mariners, Blue Jays?
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to play either side here. Both teams are. I mean, I follow the stats and most recent ones for baseball. Both teams are hitting the ball insanely right now. So either team can get a 3-run home run in the first inning and then pitch their way to a win. I don't really want to play it. I don't hate the over, but again, we're talking playoff baseball. So again, I don't know if I'd play that either.
Hey, no worries. Cubano says, is Tuesday the first official full slate for the NHL? Yeah, there's 3 or 4 games. I think there's 3 on Tuesday, but yeah, obviously these first 2 games in Prague, they're still official games, but it feels weird with preseason and NHL at the same time. It's pretty weird, but we'll move on along to the second game here, the Padres and the Mets. You can find San Diego plus 138 to plus 154. The Mets minus 170 to minus 188. 5.5s right across the board. Is this a hockey game we're playing in today, or we're betting on today? Because 5.5 in a baseball game, wow, that's kind of surprising. But obviously, you have to look at the 2 pitchers that are on the mound. As said before, DeGrom is pitching for the Mets. But Snell for the Padres, he is, I don't even know what words to use to describe him. He was bad to start off the year, but has just finished the year lights out. He's shutting down everybody. And now he faces a Mets team that did not hit very well yesterday and does not hit very well against lefties. And you're going to give me San Diego plus a half in the first 5 at minus 102. I'll take that all day long. The total in the first 5 was 2.5. There's zero chance I take a first 5 under 2.5. I don't care who's pitching, but I will take San Diego plus a half of the first 5 because I could see this game being tied. Maybe the Padres even leading by 1 or 2. As shown yesterday with Scherzer, even some of the best pitchers are hittable. Nobody's untouchable. And just because DeGrom's pitching doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be flawless. So I think Padres first 5. The first time I'm betting in a Mets game for months now. San Diego first 5 plus a half. I don't know about the full game, but I'll take the Padres first 5 here. Occupancy, Padres Mets. What do you think on this one?
Yeah, when I capped this game and looked at the stats, yesterday I thought Scherzer for sure. We were going to see a close game. Josh Bell hitting that homer, Grisham hitting that homer, kind of just getting barely over the porch. I mean, it just made the cap really hard. I know a couple people are on the Padres in the community, but I think it was a really big shocker, honestly, with that game. I'm really going to stay off player props because one angle I was taking yesterday were Scherzer to just make it 6, and he didn't do that. That kind of threw me off. I thought the Mets were going to hit Darvish a bit. And if you watch that game, he got away with a couple as well. But those are the difference makers. And then they were saying once he got through 4, then he got through 7. Because he had momentum and he was pitching really well. And then it just really made it hard for the Mets to do anything. Taking a look at DeGrom, I know you were saying, Terry, how great Snell's been doing, but DeGrom's numbers are amazing. I always look at field independent pitching, and his numbers basically all summer have been sub 2, and that's really rare. He's got 1.5s and his ERAs, low 2s, mid 2, high 1s even. So on paper, I think DeGrom is really strong. I took the Mets in a series bet. I think with the plus money, I think they can get tonight back. I'm not sure if they're going to win the series, and San Diego, I think, is surprising a lot of folks because they didn't play as well at the end of the regular season that people thought they would with the trade deadline. But I still think they're a very dangerous team. And the way I'm seeing it is taking a stab at the Mets series price. But everyone caps differently. And I know, with the show and the standings and everything, we don't do parlays anymore, but I'm a parlay player. I do low units. So I have a 3-legger for people. I have the Mets series price parlayed with the Sharks plus a half a goal in the first period, and then the Detroit Lions over half a point in the first quarter tomorrow. So that's a 3-legger that pays out 6-1. So that's how I'm kind of gonna, approach this Mets series here.
All right. Yeah, no more parlays with the best bets because best bets should be your best bet of the day. But parlays are still totally okay to be given out. I still bet parlays. I know most handicappers will tell you don't do parlays, but it depends on, is it same game parlays? Are you doing 20-legger parlays? Are you doing 2-legger? There's a lot of different stuff that goes into it. So for me, I'm not against parlays like some people are, but it just has to be done in certain. It just has to be done a certain way, in my opinion. But yeah, nothing wrong with parlays. Will, Padres, Mets, what do you think here?
I don't want to take the minus 170, so I think the angle of plus money for the series is great for tonight's game. You get the win tonight, and then you're getting plus money on a minus 150 to minus 170 line tomorrow. That's great. I just don't have a play here. If anything, go all under or something chalky, just because these pitchers are going to shut down these lineups. My only fear is that Snell doesn't strike out the Mets, because the Mets don't strike out, and then the Mets get on base and some runs get scored, but I still think Snell will get out of the jams. My only play today for baseball is the DraftKings profit boost. It's pretty chalky, but we're going Cardinals, Mets, and Blue Jays money lines. It's 5-1 with the profit boost. I believe it's plus 395 at FanDuel right now.
Oh, okay. So the 3 teams to tie up the series, basically, not including.
Yeah, very chalky, but you get some.
If you like it, you like it.
Yeah.
Cabano says, if the Pirates can light up DeGrom, why can't the Padres? Earl voice. The Earls would never, ever say that. And no way the Mets get swept, Nick and Tim's voice. No way Nick and Tim would say that either, but Cabano finds it funny. But hey, I can't say anything about the Mets because look at what my Blue Jays did. So I completely give Nick and Tim a pass. I won't say anything about the Mets. But Phillies and Cardinals, this was an interesting game yesterday. The Cardinals were up 2-0 going into the top of the ninth, looking like they were going to win the first game of the series. And then the Phillies said, not so fast, and scored 6 runs in the top of the ninth. So that's baseball. It's never over until it's over. And this one here, Phillies minus 118 to minus 133. St. Louis plus 100 to plus 106. And 6.5 right across the board here in this one. I don't have much in this game. I didn't have a bet on this yesterday. Actually, sorry, no, I did. I had the first 5 under 3.5. Which finished 0-0, never in doubt. I'm glad I didn't take the full game under because of that 9th inning. But this one here, I don't have a good read for it. I think the Phillies with Nola could very well finish this series off. But I don't know. I could see the Cardinals tying it as well. So it's just ultimately a pass for me. You don't have to bet every game, thank God, because I'd be in trouble here. But occupancy, Phillies, Cardinals. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I'll just take us back to like 10 days ago. The Phillies were making the push for the playoffs. They kind of stumbled against the Cubs, but then they got the job done with Houston. Aaron Nola pitched incredibly, 88 pitches, 6 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts. He just came into form. On the other side today, Mikolas, he's pitched okay. They kind of were watching his workload. He's still getting through 6 innings, 100 pitches in 3 of his last 4 starts. Pretty, I'd say, like for him, just average around the 3s for his, ERA and FIPS there. I see a pitching advantage early with the Phillies. I took them in the first 5 money line. But one thing that really worries me is the Phillies bullpen. Out of all the playoff teams currently in it, they have the worst bullpen ERA at a 4.27 according to covers.com. And the Cardinals are almost a whole run better for their bullpen ERA. So I know the tape, what actually happened yesterday was reversed. And the Cardinals bullpen was the one that messed up. But I didn't trust Philly to take the whole game today, but I'm on them first 5.
All right. Will, Phillies,
Yep.
Cardinals, any thoughts on this one?
My only straight bet for today for baseball, it's going to be Cardinals money line. I'm still waiting for my money from yesterday. St. Louis has been hitting so much better the last 14 games. I think it's 15 percentage points better batting average, 20 percentage points better on base percentage. They have positive offensive runs created compared to Philadelphia's negative offensive runs created. I'm worried about Mikulash, but I find it hard to believe that St. Louis with this offense is going to lose game 2 at home. I find it hard to believe. So I'm on St. Louis plus money.
All right. Yeah, teams with their backs up against the wall will be a little bit more desperate. So we'll see if some of these teams can tie up these series today and make some exciting games for tomorrow. We'll move on to other picks before we get to the best bet segment and any other picks anybody has. I have one Canadian football play. I am taking BC money line at plus 115. I like the BC Lions as an underdog in Toronto. I just feel that BC's defense will be able to stop Toronto, and BC will win this game, even without having Nathan Rourke, that star quarterback, who I was loving to back every game with BC. Even with him hurt, they're still finding ways to win games. Coming off a big, huge win their last game. Toronto coming off a horrible game against Calgary. I think BC can squeak out a win here as an underdog. So I'm on BC money line plus 115. And for their final preseason game of the year, I am taking the Minnesota Wild minus 1.5 at plus 143. The Wild 5-1 in the preseason so far. That one game against the Blues, one loss. Yes, I backed them all the other 5 times because this team cares about preseason. They've shown that so far. I think it's not a good spot for Dallas to come to Minnesota here in this one. It does look like it'll be the Wild's opening night lineup, apparently. Fleury will play the full game. Wild puck line plus 143 for me. Occupancy, other picks, and any other sports, if you have any, feel free to give them out.
Yeah, not a whole lot. I don't really cap college football, but I know a lot of people in our space do. I landed on just a quarter unit double. I got Washington State plus 18 with the over 31 in the Wyoming-New Mexico game. I'm taking Kevin LeBlanc to get a goal. I'm taking him first goal scorer. I saw that from DJ. And then I'm also going to be adding Meyer goal prop, point prop. It's his birthday today.
All right. Will, any other picks in any other sports?
Yeah, I also I model La Liga and EPL over in Europe, and people might not be into that, but I have Real Madrid today. I have the line at about minus 283, and most books have it around minus 200. So I'm taking the alt spread minus 1.5. I got it at plus 145, but it's now at, I think, plus 135, and I would take it there. I have it projected 3 goals to 0.6. So that'd be a 2.5 goal difference, not 1.5.
All right. And we'll move on along to the best bets segment here. And I will bring up the current standings. I will bring up the sheet here. We'll start with over-under as we usually do. And for me, I am going Nashville Predators team total over 3.5 minus 105. Dave is going with Duke / Georgia Tech under 55. Ryan is going with New York Mets and San Diego Padres first 5 under 2.5 plus 100. Occupancy, you're going Sharks team total over 2.5 minus 120. Will, is there a total that you like in any sports?
The over 6 minus 110 for the hockey game. Let's get a win or a push here.
Right. 6, and I will find the odds after the show. Going on to dog of the day. For me, BC Lions plus 115. Dave is going Georgia Southern plus 120. Occupancy, you're going San Jose Sharks plus 155. Will, is there a dog that you like on today's slate?
St. Louis Cardinals, whatever they're at.
Great. And going on to best bets, for me, I'm going to do it one more time. My last preseason hockey bet, Wild minus 1.5 plus 150. Ryan is going with Philadelphia Phillies money line, minus 118. Occupancy, you're going with Philadelphia Phillies, first 5 money line, minus 125. Will, what do you think for best bet?
Here to do hockey, so we'll go with the over 6.
Right. All right. And that is today's show. Make sure to follow myself, Occupancy, and Will. I'll have your link in the description below now as well. Make sure to follow him on Twitter as well. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. We'll be on again at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight to go over tomorrow's slate. And then we'll be back Monday for another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Best of luck to everybody on your bets tonight. And we'll see you again for another episode. Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Best of luck, guys. Have a good one.